Hello there, it's Friday afternoon, just coming up to 3 o'clock. I'm out for a wild camp. It's a bit late, I know, but I actually went up to some local hills. It's forecast coming in windy today. Windy wasn't the word. I'm only out with the Tarp and Bivy. I couldn't even stand walking up the hill. And the wind kept catching me rucksack, trying to blow me over. So I thought, let's cut my losses, and I've come round to a local forest instead. Obviously I won't be under no trees. I'll find somewhere away from the trees, so I'll come back in a bit. It's not meant to rain today, but it's raining. I've got the wind. It's going to be a real challenging camp, this one. I'm just going to come to a totally new area with small trees. If need be, I'll just find a ditch. You know, I like a ditch. So I'll find myself a nice spot. I'll just hunker down. Excuse me. I've got a nice tin of steak to have tonight with some rice. But it's got a pull thing on the lid, but I forgot my Leatherman. So if the pull thing fails, I'll be jabbing it with tent stakes and all sorts. There's loads of spots to find to camp. So I'll come back in a bit. Even the lads like Jimmy and that know the forest well, they wouldn't recognise this bit. We'll have a spin round. Nice young trees, look. I think I found the perfect little spot here. I'm just going to come back a little bit. I can't get my pegs in here because it's like the road. But I think I found the perfect spot. Here we go, here's my spot. Couple of logs to do me cooking on. It's a bit tufty and tussocky, but I can just get in there. The wind is coming from that way, so this is nice and sheltered. This will do me. I'm going to get set up and I'll come back. Wow, just look at the skies tonight. Absolutely beautiful, look. Beautiful. It's so windy. Look at that for a pitch. Nobody would recognise this location. I've got a couple of stumps there for me cooking. I've got me a bag of rice and I've got a tin of steak from Marks and Spencer, some coffee bags, some snacks. I've got a naked noodle there. But look at that. I've got in the blue bag, there's my down trousers. I mean, that's a cracking spot. Obviously, it's just, the bivvy looks high because all this, it's all just soft grass. But by the time we get in, it'll be spot on. We'll have another look at the sky. Wow, look at it. Fabulous. Fabulous. God, where would you rather be? And don't say the blooming Seychelles, because actually I'd prefer to be here. I love it. You've got to love a bivvy, haven't you? I mean, look at that. That is incredible tonight. Wow. Over the moon with this one. I mean, I'm really lit up orange there, aren't I, in the camera? It's absolute wonderful, the light tonight. I've got my big thick down jacket on. I've got my down trousers. I actually went up to the local hills first, and they forecast a wind coming in tonight. But my word, it was windy. I couldn't even get up the hill. The rucksack was like being caught by the wind and blowing me over. And when I got to the spots where I normally put me bivvy, even under the rock ledges and that, the wind was just coming the wrong way. Either side of the hill would have been wind just straight in my face, so I couldn't have put the tarp up at all, and it's forecast a bit of rain later. So I'd come to the forest I didn't want to go under any trees, so I found this nice little bit with new trees, and it's turned out a cracking little spot. I mean, I've got a nice stump there, look, for cooking me dinner. I'm really going to enjoy this one. And I'm going to have me a coffee now, because I'm long overdue. I've wasted a good few hours this afternoon looking around. So there's loads of big pieces of steak in there. This doesn't look bad at all. Loads of big pieces. Doesn't look bad at all. Hello there. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy, the weather. I'll turn the light up. You can see the tarp. I'm quite close to the ground. I'll turn it round. I've got guy lines all over that have ripped out, but I've just left them out, and I've tied off the two ends better to the trees, to the stem of the young trees by the ground, because the wind is absolutely horrendous. I mean, I'm tucked up on the floor here, but these little trees around me, they're only 8-9 foot tall. They're being bent over double, some of them, and the tarp, it's really getting a hammering. So whether I'll last the night with the tarp, I don't know. Worst case scenario, I'll turn the army bivvy over and use the larger part of the hood as protection for my head. And the rest of the stuff can just get wet if it rains, but it's absolutely mad. If I took the microphone out, you wouldn't be able to hear me with the wind. It's crazy, but it's good fun. So basically, I've had my tea and I'm just snuggled up in the bivvy now. I've got my down trousers on and my jacket, so I'm lovely and toasty. I've got hand warmers and foot warmers with me if I need them, but I'm not going to need those tonight. It's nice being in the bivvy even in a storm like this, because you can hear what's going on, and you put your torch on like that. You can see what's going on, whereas in a tent you're just being battered and you don't know what's happening. But it's really taking a bashing, even the poles. But I'm loving it. Loving it. Not loving it, I must be crazy. Yeah, the missus phoned me up before and she thinks I'm mad. But this is how I chill out on a Friday night. I mean, I love it. This is a late decision, this camp as well. I was invited to Graham's Christmas camp in the Bothy, because he goes with his mates to the Bothy, and they have a Christmas camp, cook a dinner and what have you. I was invited for that tomorrow, but the daughter has got a Christmas thing on. Now this Christmas thing, I don't normally go to it, but for some reason this year she decided I should go to that and not do a camp. Well, you can't upset your 11-year-old daughter, so that's why I'm out tonight and not tomorrow. But this wind's mad. I'll come back in a bit. I'm just lying here, chilling, watching a bit of YouTube, drinking coffees, and we'll see what the weather does. Well, it's just coming up to 10:30 now. I've got guy ropes coming out all over the place again. I've had to tie it up again to the tree over there, and this side, the tree, it come loose. The walking poles aren't lasting 5 minutes. It's ridiculous, the wind. But I'm just going to have to take a chance and get my head down. I'm nice and cosy in the bivvy. On the top of the Cheviot, it's 65 kilometre gusts, and Tosson Hill, which is the nearest to me, is 50 kilometre gusts, and the base of the hills are 45 kilometres. So on the face of it, it doesn't sound that much, but I suppose it depends on location. It's absolutely mad here. But I've had a nice evening, so I'm going to get my head down and I'll speak in the morning if I'm not blown away. Well, it's 12:30 and the tarp's come down. I've just rolled it up the top there. And there's all the guy lines over there. It's just too windy. If it rains, it rains. I'm just going to get... I've took my sleeping mat outside of the bivvy so I can get the bivvy nice and tight round me if required, if it rains. But the flapping, it just kept taking off. If it's windy, I think I'm going to go back to using the magic carpet, just 140 by 140. It just gives you that protection for your head. Otherwise, it's just too much flapping. Tarps are not for the wind. Certainly not in Northumberland, anyway, in the Cheviots and that. Anyway, we'll see you in the morning. Well, you wouldn't believe it. It's actually 7:30. After I took that tarp down in the night, I had to take my big blue down jacket off. I've just been in my t-shirt. The Rab 1100 sleeping bag did the business. But what a sleep, fabulous. And the wind, it's still howling now, the trees. It's making some weird noises to the trees. It sounds lovely. It's almost like the little trees almost give off a whistle as they bend. But great night. I think if it would have rained, what I would have had to have done was put the tarp, say, just about this height, really low. That would have kept me dry. But great night's sleep. I'm going to have my breakfast now. Really enjoyed that sleep. It's quite handy lying in the bivvy because you've just got everything to hand. I know it's a bit untidy, but it'll be tidied up soon. There's the remnants of all my blooming dry lines and that. Looks like quite a nice sky today. You can see how quick the clouds are going. I'm right down on the bottom of the floor here. I'm tucked right in with the trees. Well, when you think about it, you couldn't have got a tent here, look. The ground, it's just not suitable for a tent. But I've actually had a cracking night in the bivvy. We'll have a quick look at the weather before I continue packing up. Looking nice, the sky this morning, I must say. I'm just tidying away my stuff now because it's dry. I can spread out a bit, and I do spread out, mind. Well, it's leave no trace as always. There were my tables, my seat and table, and there was my pitch. So we'll have a nice walk out. Lovely weather. What a cracking little camp, even though it was so windy. Just goes to prove, doesn't it? If you've got a tarp and a bivvy with you, you can just walk up a track and look at that. You know, you just wouldn't have thought of a tent in there. You just wouldn't have done it. And up here, this is all solid rock. This is a road surface that's been overgrown, so you can't get pegs in. It's absolutely solid. That was the turning circle there. And this is the old road. Right, so we'll catch you on the way out. There's some deer there, look. Don't normally see that. Well, that was a treat on the way out to see some deer. That's been a great little camp. Literally pitting myself against the storm. I've just met a bloke who's coming to do some surveying of wildlife, like spotting flight paths and what have you. And he said there's been some fallen trees on the way up, so looks like I'll have to negotiate that. But I just loved it, just being in there in the bivvy once I got rid of the tarp. No more flapping. was a great night's sleep. Now if you've enjoyed the video and you want to see more, please press subscribe, because for some reason my videos of tarps and bivvies, they get like 1,500, 2,000 views, and yet my subs are down the 1,000 mark. So please press subscribe, even if you don't put your notifications on. If you like watching them, press subscribe. I'd really enjoy to see the channel grow. Just a thought, if you would. So I'll see you on the next camp. Thank you.